Devil beetles posed a deadly threat to humankind, propelling them to evacuate land and inhabit floating aerial cities. Humanity is at the mercy of wizards, who crusade against the monstrous insects with the assistance of magic. We get a glimpse of Fire Team S-128, consisting of Kanata Age, Chloe Sevigny, Yuri Floster, and Lloyd Alwyn, clashing against the beetles when Kanata devises a plan to lure the insects away in order to single-handedly take them on. Fast forward 6 months, Freon Flamel, the leader of Sky Wizards, orders Chloe to assign an instructor for Misora Whitetail, Lekti Eisenach, and Rico Flamel of Fire Team E601, notorious for the lowest-ranking team in the academy. Chloe summons Kanata, who she believes is a befitting instructor for E601. As Kanata is making his way to the academy, he bumps into Misora, landing himself in an awkward position, making Misora cry pervert real loud. Fleeing to safety with his jam-covered crotch, Kanata meets his second apprentice, Rico, who takes note of Kanata's lack of pants, causing him to flee from the scene. The series of bad encounters ends with Lekti, who he accidentally runs into in the ladies' bathroom, earning the title of pervert for the third time. Reaching the academy, Kanata is greeted by people who disdainfully call him a traitor. The journey of Kanata and the girls begin when they recognize him as the infamous traitor and the pervert from their encounters. Reluctant to accept Kanata as their instructor, the girls lash out at him by calling Kanata a traitor. Curiously, Lekti questions the insulting title given to Kanata. Misora fills her in about the battle that took place 6 months ago, where Kanata courageously fought the beetles alone. When Kanata seized the win on the insects, he personally took a 360-degree flip. The once brave Kanata was replaced by a coward who abandoned his missions and his fire team. Once the past is unveiled, Kanata addresses the girls that if they wish to become strong, then he can help them out. The girls grudgingly accept his proposal. Up in the sky, a game of tag is Kanata's choice for assessing the strengths and weaknesses of his apprentices. As the girls charge at him, Kanata notices how none of them possess the quality of teamwork. The feisty Misora is the first one to launch a series of lousy attacks but has notable stamina. The second attack is by Lekti, whose lack of confidence comes in the way of her attacks despite being decent at hand-to-hand combat. Kanata is momentarily taken aback by Rico's strategy of combining Lekti's combat abilities with her sniping skills, but nonetheless dodges the attack. Rico refuses to participate in the training. With only Misora and Lekti, Kanata hands out different objectives for the girls. Lefty's training consists of her dressing up in a maid outfit and handing out flyers for a cafe. As for Misora, she has to spy on Rico to find out her weakness. Despite being a nervous wreck, Lefty is successful in her pursuit, thanks to the maid outfit. Her training takes another step when Kanata orders her to serve as a waitress. Meanwhile, Misora is discovered by Rico, who approaches her and inquires her about her motives. Rico reaches the conclusion that Misora has fallen for her divinity, allowing her to accompany her on the shopping trip. Misora learns about Rico's interest in philosophy and her love for fluffs, but falls flat on discovering Rico's vulnerabilities. We get a collision scene between Real Nua and Yuri, who spills coffee on Real's pants. She frantically uses her handkerchief but is dragged away by Chloe, leaving a love-struck Real behind. At the cafe, Lekti is a hot mess. Out of anxiety, she runs away, where Misora finds her and jumps to help her. The girls make a comeback with Misora dressed as a bunny. Watching Misora work enthusiastically helps Lekti in overcoming her apprehension. Later, Misora complains about the unorthodox training, but Lekti asks Kanata if he knows about her social anxiety. Kanata discloses that during their previous training session, he noticed Lekti's skills, but due to her nervousness, she failed to land impactful hits. Grasping the situation, Misora shamefully admits she failed at her task, but is surprised when Kanata offers her assurances and rewards them with ice cream. The next day, all hell breaks loose when Kanata orders Misora to switch her weapon. In her flashback, we meet Misora's mother, Sosie Whitetail, wielder of the magic cannon sword. She's portrayed as a valiant sky wizard who puts her duty to protect the floating city of Iris above all. For young Misora, her mother is truly an icon. One fateful day, Misora asks her father about her mother's return. Her father's response confirms her worst fears, and she rushes out to ask around about her mother. As naturals can't remember sky wizards once they're dead, nobody seems to remember the brave Sosie except for Misora. A group of officials hands Misora her mother's sword, informing her that she died in the line of duty. A mixture of sadness and determination grips Misora, and she vows to become a sky wizard to honor her mother. Meanwhile, smitten with Yuri, Real is waiting on her to give her back the handkerchief along with a love letter. But before he gets the chance, he sees Yuri playfully hitting Kanata, making him stop in his tracks. Kanata goes to Misora's hometown where he finds her father, Gale, who welcomes Kanata in his restaurant. Misora is annoyed to see him out there and goes out, making Gale apologize for her rude behavior. Kanata finds Misora near the Hills of Hope, the resting place of Misora's late mother. He pushes Misora to abandon the sword, but she's hell-bent on wielding it. She says it's her mother's legacy. He praises her stubbornness and tells her to buckle up as the path she has chosen will be perilous. In this episode, Riko is troubled by a dream where she's chasing after her sister, Freon, surrounded by admirers. At the cafe, Kanata and Lloyd are discussing the upcoming battle match between Fireteam E601 and E571. Yuri, who had been ignored by the boys, says that the chances of E601 winning against E571 are slim, and having a traitor as their instructor doesn't help their case. Kanata assures her that his apprentices have a good shot at winning. Upon hearing him talk, Yuri reminisces about the past when she fought beside Kanata. Riko greets Kanata at the cafe and tells him that she was mesmerized by her reflection, earning a laugh from Kanata. She's pulled back into another memory, where she's being ridiculed. Riko notices the data on E571. Kanata tells her that Lecty and Misora have a shot at winning. Riko says that she doesn't wish to train and is surprised by Kanata playing it cool. Misora and Lecty are planning on asking Riko to join the match. In a desperate attempt, Misora is about to kneel in front of Riko when Kanata barges in and lifts her up in the air. The training for battle has begun. Kanata teaches Misora a powerful move and combats Lecty, who is improvised. Riko is observing the three when Kanata sneaks behind her. Riko admits that her teammates have improved, but they're still at a disadvantage. Kanata says that with her abilities, E601 has a solid chance of winning. The next day, we see Riko making an appearance to join Lecty and Misora for the ranking match. There's a sudden invasion of armored beetles, or Arcanars, in the city of Misotogen. Freon orders the highest-ranking fire team to assist in the battle, while the lower-ranking fire teams are to help in the evacuation. Kanata, along with his apprentices, is on evacuation duty. Riko asks Kanata for his reason for not being at the front lines. He replies by saying that it's complicated. Outside the premises of Mistgun, Chloe takes on the swarm of beetles alongside Yuri. Lloyd comes flying over, informing the girls that Misotogen has been compromised. On the other hand, Freon realizes that in order to secure a win, they'll have to take down the leader, a chimera named Deneb. Fireteam E571 takes down Deneb, but the trouble is still looming over Misotogen. Realization dawns upon the Sky Wizards as they consider the possibility of another chimera. Riko uses her clairvoyance to detect the threat. After detecting the numerous beetles pulling out of the broken city wall, Kanata asks the girls to take down the beetles. With words of encouragement by Kanata, the girls are fueled with confidence and fight with might. Then suddenly an unknown chimera emerges from the dust. Kanata notices the chimera's uniqueness and steps up to face him. Misora is surprised by Kanata's power and strength. With the chimeras eliminated, the insects retreat back. Kanata Age saves the day, but his heroic act is unknown to Misotogen. The episode ends with Real stumbling upon the ominous eye left by the chimera. In the class, the girls are displeased over the fact that no one believes it was them who defeated the chimera. Kanata replies that since there were no eyewitnesses, it is a standard response. He pulls out a flyer for a tournament, informing the girls that if they secure victory, they'll be promoted to 2 ranks above if they win. Upon the news, the girls fantasize about winning the tournament. Kanata asks if they're up to the task, and the girls chime in with agreement. The moment is broken by Chloe, who comes to take Kanata to Freon's office. In her office, Freon delivers her decision on disbanding E601. Kanata's gutsy refusal makes Freon scoff. He assures her that his team will come out as victors in the tournament, earning laughter of disbelief from Freon. The girls are eavesdropping from outside when suddenly Kanata opens the door, resulting in the girls falling on their faces. The girls are dispirited at the news, but Kanata assures them that they just need to win. The irony of this statement does nothing but make the girls worry more. Later, Freon takes S128 to the research lab, where Real informs them about the regeneration abilities of the new chimera after experimenting on its eye. He's ecstatic to see Yuri. After S128 leaves, he creepily sniffs the handkerchief Yuri gave him. All the ranked teams are present for these selection rounds. The girls are relieved to find an easy opponent, but their relief is cut short when Kanata tells them they'll be disbanded if they don't win against Yuri's team in the finals. In an alley, a male Sky Wizard is running away from a hooded man who attacks him with murderous intent. Through a flashback, we see a young Yuri who is watching Kanata take on higher rankers. Kanata is deflating the attacks when an A ranker suddenly fires an arrow that is headed towards Yuri. Kanata jumps to save Yuri, and she is inspired by his bravado. In the present, Chloe, Lloyd, and Yuri are discussing the recent attacks. Chloe asks Yuri for an opinion, but Yuri seems to be lost in a trance in the past. Then suddenly, Kanata jumps from the trees, making Yuri blush at the sight of him. After Yuri walks away and Chloe tells Kanata how Freon asked Yuri to coach an A-ranking team, but Yuri tried to decline her offer by asking Freon to let her instruct an E-ranking team like Kanata. Kanata says that he has always known Yuri to be a responsible person. The girls are training with training Arcanars while Kanata is supervising them. Riko devises a successful strategy to take down the Arcanars. They're interrupted by Yuri's fire team flaunting their skills. Later on, Kanata rewards Riko for her strategy through a back rub and calls her a fine woman, making her blush. Yuri takes Kanata to a coffee to talk. She asks Kanata to resign from his position as an instructor as she believes the girls aren't worth it. Kanata refuses, making Yuri angry. Another Sky Wizard is being chased by the hooded man whose identity is revealed as Real, who madly declares his love for Yuri, saying he will come for her soon enough. Lekti, on her morning jog, meets Kanata. Lekti talks about the effectiveness of their new formation devised by Kanata. He compliments Lekti on paying attention and teases her by asking if she wants a hint on improving herself further. To understand Kanata's hint, Lekti is yet again in her maid dress, being bombarded by orders. Despite being overwhelmed, she's amazed to see everyone working in an amazing rhythm. As she trips while collecting an order, a fellow waitress advises Lekti to keep note of her surroundings. Heeding her words, Lekti ups her game. In the skies, Misora and Riko are once again breaking with each other over their new positions as vanguard and middle guard. As the rear guard, Lekti is observing the scene from afar. Something clicks inside her, and with great understanding, she offers words of encouragement to her peers, which helps them all come together as a team during the training. Later that day, Kanata bumps into a sleep-deprived Chloe, but their conversation is cut short by Misora, who demands Kanata to stop the weird training session. Misora then angrily requests Kanata to make her strong. On her demand, Kanata orders the girls to live together, leaving them in a dusty room. Yuri is on her way when Kanata throws cream puffs at her, and the two get to talking about the past when suddenly a cloaked Real makes an appearance to attack the two. Yuri and Real get into a fight. She's overpowered by his fast movements. Kanata steps in to take the fight, making Real flee the scene. After reaching the research lab, Real vouches to take revenge on Kanata. The Eye from the Chimera beckons him to use it for his pursuit to take down Kanata. In the communal room of E601, Yuri wakes up from her unconscious state, flashing her nude body to Kanata. Kanata takes off after seeing the awkwardness of the situation. Later, E601 thanks Yuri for saving Kanata from the attacker. After getting dressed, Yuri expresses her gratitude to the girls. The four girls get to talking about Kanata's bizarre training style, interrupted by Kanata, who comments on the girls getting along together. He then hands Yuri a charm and asks her to press it if she ever is in trouble. Yuri begrudgingly accepts. Misora and the girls get into a tussle with Kanata. Seeing this, Yuri is filled with memories of the past. Jealousy consumes her and she announces that she'll make sure E601 disbands. On their training day, Riko and Lekti perform exceptionally. Misora is lacking behind and unable to pass Kanata's training test. The next day, the ranked match begins. Misora charges at 571 alone, but is quickly overpowered by them. Misora and Lekti tell Misora to back off. As the two girls are syncing their attacks, Misora finally understands the importance of trusting her friends and makes an epic comeback with her Strike Blaster, which lands them their first victory. Landing a series of victories in the tournament, E601 shocks everyone and especially Freon, who is bent on disbanding the group. The night before their grand showdown with Yuri's team, A227, the girls recall their time with Kanata. Fatefully, all three of them are gathered in the training grounds, determined to win. The eventful day is finally here. The entire stadium is rooting for A227, while the only supporter E601 has is E571. Kanata reminds Yuri that if her team loses, she'll have to join his team. The match commences and A227 begins the assault on E601, who maneuvers the attack, making A227 more confident in their attacks. Yuri smugly says to Kanata that she sees through his tactics. After all the dodging and running, Misora moves in for a close-range attack and slashes at Lily, who's taken aback. Being tricked by Misora, Lily is enraged and falls deaf to Yuri's advice to calm down. Kanata says to Yuri that the match is going exactly how he planned. With that, Misora secures the victory by using her Strike Blaster on Lily. The entire stadium is stunned at the victory of E601. As the announcer is declaring E601's victory, she's cut short by Real, who smashes the announcer's head. Real takes the mic and madly declares her love for Yuri. The sirens go off and the officials declare a state of emergency. Real emerges from the air and Yuri's shocked to see him. Real charges at Yuri but is faced with Kanata. Misora notices that the power surging from Real is the same as Kanata. After being injured by Real's attack, Kanata is surprised to see E601 charge at Real. Chloe joins in by attacking Real. He transforms into an abomination of a humanoid beetle. He says the devil beetles have chosen him. Real creates a tornado as a barrier to keep Chloe and Lloyd out while trapping Yuri, Kanata, and E601. As the boss villain of this plot, Real's able to form weapons and tentacles out of his body. He uses his tentacles to trap Yuri, Kanata surges with the same energy, and Real comments on how he's also chosen by the devil beetles. Kanata shames Real for letting the whispers get to him. Real uses his multiple limbs as swords to attack Kanata. On seeing this, E601 attacks Real. They're successful in freeing Yuri. Real throws his tentacles towards Yuri, making Kanata jump in front, letting the tentacles pierce his body. Kanata is laying in a pool of blood. Masura tells Real that the battle isn't finished. As they're attacking Real, he notices Yuri's disappearance and asks E601 about her. Charging towards E601, Yuri appears from behind, with a spear in her hands, lodging it in Real's body. Real falls to the ground, where he notices Kanata and rushes to finish him, but Yuri is quick to put an end to his evil pursuits. Kanata heals up and informs the girls that their promotion has been cancelled due to the damages they caused. As per bet, Yuri joins his fire team with a cake in her hand that says "I love you." Kanata's too slow for his own good to understand that the confession is directed toward him. Yuri calls him an idiot and runs away. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.